Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to be using Pigments for the first time. Pigments is a VST instrument made by Arturia, and it is a wavetable and virtual analog modeled hybrid modulation thing called Pigments. And I believe it's called Pigments because of the colors of the modulation here. Modulation is clearly laid out, which is pretty cool, and it's touted as something with intuitively fast workflow, powerful, awesome sounding architecture, and amazing legendary artist presets, which I guess are the major selling points of synths these days. So, quickly looking at it, I believe there are two engines, Engine 1 and Engine 2, in their respective tabs, and they can be independently selected to analog or wavetable. That's pretty cool. Separate outputs to filter 1 and 2, or a mixture of the two. Different kind of wave shaping algorithms down here: frequency mod, phase distortion, and wave folding. Pretty cool. There's already some modulation going on here with the wavetable position. We all know what that does. And we have the modulation section here, which we can select. Oh, so it's the amount. We can select the wave here, which is pretty cool. Blue noise, nice. I like blue noise. Kind of lends to the term pigments. We have a coarse tune here for analogy kind of, drift. And then there's already modulation on the fine tune here. How do you find out what is modulating that? I don't know yet. I'm here to figure it out. It's my first time. Filter 1 and filter 2 over here. So dual filters with all the passes that you would expect. It's cool. Where's the... Oh, okay. Multi-mode here. Different modulations. Prophet 12, Mini Moog, Surgeon. Nice. So that's a steep roll-off. That's pretty neat. Is there a steep roll-off with a band pad? Yes, there is. So we can get some surgically stuff going on here. Good for the filters. What else we have here? Comb, because you gotta comb your hair every day. Comb gain, pretty neat feedback and feed forward designs. Very nice. That gives you some really cool kind of harmonics that can be very scary. With great power comes great responsibility. Protect your ears. And then we have formant filters, which is basically what our mouths do. Shape of our mouths makes, things kind of talk, which I'll get through that. Anyway, filter routing, not a switch, a variable mix here, which can be modulated. That's pretty cool. Amplifier mod, voice pan, send level. So we can send stuff to something or other. Not sure where that's being sent to. Maybe the effects, who knows. Then we have our modulation section here. Some are enabled, some are not. I assume you click on them to enable them. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so function 1, function 2. I guess this is a drawable ADSR. I think let's go left to right here. It's got velocity, attack, mod wheel, and keyboard. So these are kind of MIDI. What? Drag knob contours to create or edit a modulation routing. Oh, so I select what I want. Okay, so I select this. Oh, look at that. Things change up there. So say if I want to see what is here on the keyboard or the VCA amplifier, do that, and then I can... Oh, okay. Cool. So I can do some cool things with the VCA. Very nice, and that's how I modulate. So the modulation matrix is kind of rethought. So how would I... Okay. So if I hover over the modulation, I can see that FM type right there. I hover over, I can see it. That's pretty neat. And the wavetable position and stuff like that. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's hop back. Let's take a step back a little bit. I'm gonna get ahead of myself here if I don't do that. Let's go and pick my favorite preset of all time. The init. Arturia doesn't really have init. It just has templates, which makes sense to me. Let's just go triple VCO. Let's give ourselves a little bit of volume here. So that's Moog, the Moog preset. So this is analog. We have our analog drift here, drift amount. Pretty neat. I enjoy these things. And that makes the pitch of these kind of drift around a bit because it's cold in Canada. That tends to happen. This is basic stuff. We have, let's just select, how do I deselect one? Oh, we have that here. Basic analog modeled stuff, pulse width. We can send these out to filter, and then we have noise here. Blue noise. Different colors of noise, pretty cool. And then modulation, you can modulate the source of 3, oscillator 3 to all the oscillators, and you get some really cool stuff, which you do with the Moog, but this is out of the scope of this tutorial, really. So let's go to the thing that we all kind of paid for. Or we didn't quite yet because there's still a free trial. Let's go to analog and select Wavetable. All right, so we all know what this looks like and what this does. So we have our sine wave, saw, and then square. And then we turn off morph. Oh, and then you can turn off morph and it doesn't interpolate between them. That's pretty neat. We have 2D as well. Pretty cool. And we have, I guess, the usual suspect of, I don't know, wavetables to choose from. And we can go through them. Let's get something a little more interesting. B-fold. All right, so what do we have here? We have the routing output to separate filters, which is pretty cool. Select filters, turn them on and off. And what does this? Oh, this switches filters around, so you can do some cool stuff. Can you modulate that? Probably not. You can with Max for Live, probably. Anyway, we have wavetable position, volume of the particular engine. So think of this as like a separate thing, and then you route it into filters. Modulator. Let's do some modulation. So frequency modulation. That's FM, which is pretty cool. And exponential. There's different kinds. Very nice. Phase modulation per key. See what that sounds like. Just different ways to kind of bend and add some harmonics and some cool stuff in there. Mod oscillation. And that is modulating the phase. What's random do? Pretty cool. And phase distortion. Oh, I want to go amount. We have different targets here. Fractalize. You can get some really dark, interesting things. And then wavefolding. Wavefolding sounds cool. Kind of like a fold that. It's like it's like a distortion, but it's not. It's like a different thing. Really, it's like it's an algorithmic kind of fold back interpolation of something. And the source would be sine wave triangle. That'd be more harsh as opposed to something more rounded. So it's all about I guess, the flavor of what you're going for. And different kind of modulations here, which I'm not sure do. What does that do? Different modulation shapes. I have to read the manual to figure out what that does. I'm not an expert on, I guess, esoteric modulation. Phase distortion, I can kind of figure it out, but I need to, kind of write it down in order to explain it. And then I guess the modulation, the shape and the modulation, this confuses me. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know everything. I don't. But anyway, so that's pretty neat. These are our, I guess, within the engine modulators. So let's get into the colorful pigment modulators here. So not quite sure. Not quite sure what's oh, Unison. You know what? Unison is my favorite thing in the world. If you don't have good Unison, get out of town. So there's a classic and then chord. Okay, so it's not based on, oh yeah, so it's like kind of exponential. Nice. All sorts of stuff with that Unison. And it's actually quite gentle on the CPU as well. So is there an ability to have, I guess, different modulation per voice? We will find out. I actually haven't read the manual. I just opened it up. So, geez, stop yelling at me. What else here? Let's check out the filters. The usual suspects. Low pass. Oh, that was volume, not. Oh no. Okay, let's save our ears for a moment here. Just have to drop an L2. How are we all doing today? What's the secret? What's the secret word? Secret word is, for those that have gotten this far in the video, what should I get you to type? Just type neat. Sounds neat. Or I don't know. 4 days left. So yeah, let's up to pigments again. Right, so there's the multimode filter, SEM filter, which is kind of the state variable. You can change the mode, and you can modulate that. And it got a little bit quiet. So what they used to do back in the day for synths that didn't really have a lot of effects is you would have this kind of notch filter, and it would sound like a phaser. Right, so you get that phasing sound without actually phasing. So you get that classic virus A and B sound doing that. It's SEM, matrix 12, which is prophet 12. Right, and then we can have FM, which is pretty neat. To add a little bit of smudge? There's always a word. Okay, that's the word. Smudge. A lot of smudge in that filter. Smudging. Words. I get my words mixed up these days. Wow, that's nice. Oh, so that's engine 1. You can modulate with itself. Nice. Okay, so LFO 1 is modulating that now. And let's go hertz. Right up into the audio range. I like it when they do that. Right up into the audio range. Very nice. Cool. All right, so we have 2 LFOs going now. The mini Moog, which is a classic sounding filter. There's drive, which adds some cool stuff, and surgeon, which we already went over, which is a precise kind of cut. Can't adjust the spread there, obviously. Right, so it adds some color there, and then bandpass. This would be good for some interesting effects and sound design. Pretty neat. Okay, comb. So don't be frightened. there's a little bit there. You hear that? Is that me? Okay, is that Pro L overloading? Oops. No, it's not. It's not Pro L overloading. Even when it's doing that, eh? So, if I were to modulate that, would it sound like that? So there's no kind of interpolation between the values when you're just doing this, which I don't understand why. So let's modulate this. Let's try, go to our LFO one. Oh, so here's LFO one. And I guess I do that. Drag knob contours to create or edit a modulation routing. Okay, oh, so this is contour. Okay, so no zippering there. Yeah, that's something, in my opinion, needs to be fixed a little bit. Right, so there's no zippering there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on, phaser, which is pretty neat, which is basically what I just explained with that notch, multiple pulls. So what this can do is this can add a bit of beef to your sound and add some interesting kind of harmonics if you want to go to outer space, and then formant, which, you know, gives it, I guess, like talking as it goes through the vowels. And then Q factor. All right. So that's some pretty interesting sound design. Panning. Okay, so what you can do is you can have multiple filters and then pan them separately, which is a really useful kind of technique to achieve some stereo wideness. I'm going to map engine 1 to filter mix. I double clicked it to set it to 0. And what's going on here? Envelope 2 is doing something. Filter 2 cutoff. Don't do that. I'll just get rid of that. Modulation is actually pretty fun. So we have, yeah, we'll go multi-mode. These two guys here. And then we'll just pan them left and right. And for some reason, oh, I have to have the filter routing like that. All right, so we got like a pseudo stereo effect, which is quite neat. Yeah, so let's check out some more stuff here. I want to get another template open. What the heck was that? Oh. 3 basic. Oh, so this is, oh, I heard about this. This is like a tooltip, which I should be reading. Can you hover over things? And never mind. All right, so let's get something interesting here. Didgeridoo, neat. Let's double click on that. All right, so I want to map that LFO to envelope 2. Let's try envelope 2. And oh, this way. So we got something neat there. And let's try these, I have to sneeze, sorry. These LFOs. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Nope, it's not gonna happen. So we have, I guess the LFO only appears when you actually map it to something. Let's try LFO 1 to position. Kind of like that, just to give it a bit of that. Oh, yeah, okay, so it does appear. It only appears when you actually map it to something. And that's pretty neat. The usual things you can do with filters, or not filters, LFOs. Fade in. That's pretty useful for some interesting things. Smooth fade. Unipolar, this will turn unipolar on and off. So you notice the positions going around, modulating the center position. Unipolar will kind of turn that into the duty cycle kind of above. So it's a different kind of modulation. So just keep that in mind. It just it depends on kind of what you're used to. And we can adjust the phase if we do so desire. So what else can we do? Can we modulate? So obviously we could probably modulate filter 3 with filter 1. All right, let's get some sort of... I want envelope 3. No, actually. These functions are interesting. How do I... Oh, okay, so function is down here. This is a, I guess, programmable envelope or LFO or things like that. So let's go function, drag that to filter 1. Okay, so we're doing that. I can adjust the curve. Very neat. And I can switch between the functions. And we'll just have it on 1. So now it's a really interesting envelope. And when you double click on a point, it doesn't disappear. Oh, you right click and then it disappears. Cool. If you double click on it, it just goes right down to the bottom, which is interesting. Okay, and what's Turing? What is Turing? Oh, okay, so we have 3 more, I guess, LFOs that are sample and held. Sample and Turing, sample and hold, and binary. So binary would be like either on or off. Sorry, excuse me, I have a cold. And that'd be useful for like full value, not full value. And the probability, there's every, I guess. So I guess if we set this to, no. Oh yeah, so sync. So every 8th, we have a 50% chance of it being on if it's off. So there's equal probability there. So now it's 100% on, and then like all the way off. So I guess this is useful for certain kinds of sound design. So you can have a value, or like let's just do it resonance. So we're at binary. So let's select a binary, and I want the binary to do that to the resonance. Or you can have that probability of engaging an LFO to full effect, or things like that. Sorry. So Turing, I guess these are different kind of sample and hold using different kind of seeds, I guess, or sets the length of the sequence and also impacts the range of values that can be attained. More steps, more values. Okay, so Oh, okay, okay, okay. So this is kind of like it's kind of like binary, but it has a chance of having multiple values in between 0 and 1. So we have kind of 10 steps to this sample and hold. That's really interesting. I really appreciate that. That's really awesome. That's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. That's like a new take on SNH. Uh, so this is classic sample and hold, where it's the value is completely random, where it sets, and the source is like white noise. Could we have like the source to like cosmic background radiation? That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, you have different sources here, and the clock is triggering it, and we have the sync rate of a quarter note. Let's go eighth note, and sample and hold will just kind of have it set to wave folding. Nope, I didn't do that right. Sample and hold, wave folding. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. We'll get out of there. Engine 1 volume, we'll take that off. And then Turing, let's just have that on there for fun, just to get more pigments up there. So really interesting random sound design possibilities with these. It's like a new take on, like, I appreciate there's like the LFO, classic LFO shapes function, which you can kind of draw in, and then these 3 sample and, combinate. OMG, what we can do, we can combine different sources with Turing. What does this do? Oh, I wish it would show it. Let's attach this to FM type, just a little bit here. The sum. Oh man, okay. So we combine these two, the amount, maybe have the amount up there, or the amount down low. I'm confused. So this would be the difference. Maybe the difference of this one. Well, let's try a different LFO. That one's a little bit too intense for me. Maybe multiply. Oh, okay. So wait, what? All right, let's try. Let's try sample and hold. Type sum. Multiples versus mod amount plus. Oh my god. Okay, this is math. I can't do math. So in theory, I assume you can combine. Oh, okay, okay. So you don't combine these two. These are separate. Okay. Oh, okay, 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 okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. All right. So let's try that again. So these are not modulate. Combine this with this. You're actually combining this with this. Brain fart. I apologize. So we'll try the sample and hold again. And the amount here, I guess, oops, 50%. And the difference, that's interesting. Maybe divide LFO with sample and hold. So we're mixing in the two, and it's not so much modulating. You have like the type you can get in here, and then yeah, crossfade between, which I think is like, yeah, crossfade would be just a general morph. So you can morph in between, which is pretty cool. But yeah, these are all kind of mathematical things. All right, right, so let's chill that out a little bit. Very cool. And then M1. What's M1? Oh, macro. Okay, macro 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I guess these are, you know, macros you can have, and you can adjust, I guess, anything to this. So yeah, you know, I'll just show you. So you can have like phase distortion attached to macro 1, and you can adjust the phase distortion here. And do all sorts of stuff. Multiple values with one macro. And then, fingers crossed, can you... Nope. Can't modulate individual macros, which makes sense. But yeah, anyway. Very cool. So let's get into the effects here. We have different buses. Let's see. The routing. Okay, so this is a send. There's separate sends per engine. Not that I can see. What's this? Quantize mod. And then course. Okay, that's tuning. Never mind. All right, so we got bus. So different bus. Okay, so the bus is being sent into here. We can reroute things. You know, the usual suspects. And I don't want, how do I select that reverb? How do I? I'm clicking. How do I? Oh, it's right here. Sorry. Let's just deactivate that for a second. Okay, well, the reverb. Oh, so the reverb is. Oh, to the send. Okay. Okay, so bus A and bus B, I assume, are kind of hardwired. Engine 1 goes to bus A, engine 2 goes to bus C. And then there's a send level for basically everything that goes into the send bus. And that's for things like, oh, wait. Okay, so you have all your routing here, which you can have in series, parallel, or feedback, or whatever. So you have the, I guess, the send bus going into bus B, and we're getting into complications. So why isn't this okay? And then we have this last one here. Let's just press it. And you have beautiful gain reduction. Can we... Automatic makeup, which is cool. Do we have a multiband? We do not. Maybe one day we'll have that. Get some OTT up in here. And then we have our send bus as well. Cool. What the heck? Oh, little tooltip. Okay, so sequencers and stuff are pretty fun. And this is an ARP and a sequencer. We'll just engage that. Okay, then we have octave. Turn it down just a tad. And I guess we can adjust the length here, which is cool. that's a useful thing here. Let's get a macro on the filter. Macro 2. Very neat. I got velocity if we're using that. The trigger probability. Oh, cool. So we can have the probability of the trigger here. So that's pretty neat. Gate length and slide. We're doing some monophonic acidy stuff. Randomize. We can randomize everything. That's pretty cool. And polyrhythm stuff as well. Let's try the sequencer. And then we'll do major. Alright, that's basic sequencers. You can have it per scale, and you can okay, we'll set these all to 0. Let's randomize just the sequence pitch here without these. Alright, so random stuff is cool. So that's the gist of it from what I've kind of seen. And yeah, lots of kind of option-y bits here. I'm quite impressed. I'm not liking the zippering of the comb filters, but I'm sure that's a known bug or feature, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned stuff. Take care and have a good one.